I'm Danforth Prince, president of Blood Moon Productions. It's Boxing Day 2011, that's December 26th. And I'm proud to announce the release in February of Blood Moon's newest book, a biography of J. Edgar Hoover, founder of the FBI, a notorious figure, influential figure, frightening figure, who influenced more aggressively the politics and the social priorities of America than almost anyone else, not generally known until now by many members of the general public. Some thoughts about this book. It's written by Darwin Porter, our best investigative journalist, author of many other celebrity biographies exposing sexual secrets of Hollywood during its golden age. The book, therefore, is an overview of the life of a man who obsessively investigated the sexual secrets of America's most famous men and women, usually for the purposes of blackmailing them, through intimidation, fear of exposure, always for the reinforcement of his own moral values and the reinforcement of his own personal power. During his tenure at the FBI, he compiled information, details of which are revealed within this book, about the sexual compromises and embarrassments of, among others, Marlene Dietrich, Marilyn Monroe, Elvis Presley, Rock Hudson, a raft of journalists, senators, congressmen, and diplomats from the State Department, scientists who included Albert Einstein, and U.S. presidents who included Franklin Roosevelt and his wife Eleanor, the Kennedy brothers, Lyndon Johnson, and Richard Nixon. Hoover, as the book reveals, got involved in any number of personal scandals himself, and in almost every case he worked overtime to erase the records and hush them up. But ironically, the most visible of these involved his emotional links to his inseparable long-term companion, Clyde Tolson. Clyde first appeared at the FBI for a job interview in 1928, after which he was invited to J. Edgar's home that night for a private dinner. Rising quickly through the rank and file of the FBI, he was eventually promoted to associate director, remaining by J. Edgar's side for more than 40 years, sharing 3 meals a day and most vacations with him, and eventually inheriting his estate and being buried by his side. And the book goes on to reveal that as J. Edgar became more and more notorious for this, and more loathed for this, and more despised for this, his face became more immediately recognizable to the sexual underground of cities like Los Angeles, Miami, New York, and Washington. So as J. Edgar grew in notoriety, the volume of scandals associated with his private life became more widespread, and Blood Moon has done history's first attempt to tabulate these, index these if you like, lay these out in the form of a book which we view as a curious blend of historical scholasticism and tabloid treatment of movie stars. Movie stars because J. Edgar found movie stars influential and made it a great point to investigate their sexual secrets. And Hollywood was loaded with people who would go to dinner parties and discuss the travails they had had under Joseph McCarthy, the Red Scare, the sexual investigations they had endured, and isn't it interesting to find all this coming out in the wash in the form of this book? Within enough time after the passage of J. Edgar to allow the dust to settle, and many other voices come in to weigh in on this. Guy Hotel was a source for this book. Guy Hotel was a roommate of Clyde Tolson and accompanied J. Edgar and Clyde on some of their vacations to the racetrack in California, among others, Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico and Miami. We are proud of this book and we bring it to your attention. It's J. Edgar Hoover and Clyde Tolson, Investigating the Sexual Secrets of America's Most Famous Men and Women, available in February from Blood Moon Productions. It's incredible. Quite blew my mind, it did. Many thanks and welcome to Blood Moon Productions.